The holidays feel different this year. There is nothing wrong with you. Midlife holidays look different, feel different, and we don't talk about it enough. Many of us have experienced a midlife divorce. We're becoming empty nesters. We may be having our first holiday season without a parent, and we're feeling the grief. The distance that we may have with our adult children may not make it possible to have those special holiday seasons with them. And then you find the traditions are completely shifting. They look nothing like you desired or you had dreamed about at this stage. If this season feels heavier than usual, I just want you to know you're not alone. This is going to be a safe space, so let's talk about it. Welcome to Midlife, Menopause, and Empowered Reinvention channel. Midlife, because no one warned us about this part. When the holidays don't look the same anymore, the holidays have this way of holding up a mirror, not to who we used to be, but to who we are now. And sometimes that reflection is unsettling. Identity shifts. For so many of us in midlife, the holidays used to define our identity. The mom, the wife, the organizer, the hostess, the one who made the magic happen. But when your kids are grown, your marriage has changed, or you're rebuilding life on your own. Suddenly you're asking, who am I now? And what do the holidays even mean for me? Also, what about those change of roles? Maybe your adult children are spending Christmas somewhere else this year. Maybe your ex has them for the holiday. Maybe your parents, the anchors of every family gathering, are no longer here. The roles shift, and we're left trying to figure out where we fit in this new picture. We still carry these invisible scripts of how it should look, the laughter, the traditions, the togetherness, but reality often looks quieter, lonelier, or just different. That gap between expectation and reality can feel like grief, even if nothing bad happened. And if you've always been the planner, the giver, the peacemaker, you might still find yourself trying to hold it all together. You wrap the gifts, send the texts, smooth over the awkward silences, but underneath you're wondering if anyone notices how much you do or if anyone would step up if you didn't. Sometimes there's also the shock of realizing you are not needed the same way that you used to be, that your kids can cook their own meals, your family can celebrate without your coordination. It's both freeing and heartbreaking because your identity was built on being indispensable, and now you're being invited to discover who you are outside of that role. So if the holidays feel different this year, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you are evolving. This is the season to grieve what's gone, honor what was, and gently open your heart. So what does that mean? So as I think back on my own situation at midlife, and I think it was December 2016, I had two boys that were in the Navy. I had one that was at boot camp during the holiday season and another one who was on a deployment in the Middle East. It was a hard holiday season. And then on top of it, my husband at the time was working a lot of the holiday season. He didn't have a choice. He couldn't take any of it off. So I felt that like the need to just grieve over the fact that they weren't there. I had no way to even call them because if anybody knows with the military, it's not like you can just pick up the phone and call them or FaceTime them. So I really felt the disconnection of my two children. I had no way to know if I'd even hear from them. I remember sitting by my cell phone at that point waiting for them to call because I knew that it would be such a gift if I did have that opportunity. And I grieved over the fact that my family isn't always going to be together. My oldest son had already moved on and was married and was in a different state, so I didn't have him close by, so I was mom of 4 kids. So it was just me and my youngest son one Christmas, and it was really hard. I can't tell you the grief that I felt, the loneliness, isolation, and then my youngest son who was at home asked if he could go to his girlfriend's house and spend the rest of the Christmas with them. So I found myself home all alone. So that was the idea of our children grow and go, which is normal. We know about it. We know it's going to happen, but I don't think we really understand it until we're there. And then let's fast forward 2 years later, 2018, December 2018, when I found that what I thought was a good marriage wasn't. And I found that he was talking to other women. And as he was talking to other women, I was locked out of our different accounts. There was just so many emotions because I was shocked over what was going on. And I didn't know how to handle it. So when Christmas came around, I had already left him for a month and I was already going to counseling, and I told my counselor, I told my son that I'm not going anywhere for Christmas. I'm not going to do anything for Christmas because my grief was so deep. And at that point I lost my identity. I lost my identity as a wife. I'd already lost I don't know if I'd say lose my identity. I mean, Christmas was obviously now different since one of my sons had his own child, and I needed to respect that as well. But I remember one thing that my therapist said. She said, I know this is a really hard season, and I know this is going to be incredibly painful, but remember, it's only 24 hours you have to get through. Don't isolate yourself, because you may have friends and family that need to know that you're going to be okay. And they want to include you. And whether you feel like going there or not, you need to go. And she was right. I didn't buy Christmas gifts for anybody. I mean, my goodness, I was at a point where I was trying to support myself. So I was financially destitute, broke, so to speak. I was working 2 jobs at that point. But she was right. It was only a 24-hour day. And then December 26th hit. And you know what? I was thankful to have gotten through the day. But I guess what I'm saying is, don't isolate yourself to the point that you don't surround yourself with people because you think it's too painful. And it is painful. It is. It's incredibly painful to go through a huge loss and a huge devastation. But it's 24 hours and you have people that love you, people that want you to be included in their life. And if you are experiencing grief, it doesn't mean you made the wrong choices. You get to rebuild these holidays in a way that honors your personal peace. And it's okay if you don't know what that looks like right now. It's all right. I also understand the disappointment when your kids can't come home and you can't go there. Or if you're feeling replaced because they're spending half of the holiday season with their in-laws. And sometimes, as much as us as parents, we want the peace when they were little. But it's amazing when you sit in a quiet house that we kind of miss that chaos. And so now it's okay to shift yourself from being the center of planning and preparing to being the guest. Embrace it. Your children are not choosing other people over you. They're expanding their personal world. You will find that you'll have other new traditions. You may find yourself that you can connect with other singles out there that may have the same sense of loneliness, and they want to do the same thing. They want to rebuild new memories for the holidays. Also, if this is your season of a parent that has passed away, then that is also a very deep loss. The empty chair where they used to sit and the mixed emotions that comes along with it. Our memories are going to hit each of us differently. And it's good to remember. And it's normal to feel the loss. If you're trying to go back to what you believe your holidays should look like, and then the reality hits. Remember, if you're one that likes Pinterest, which I love Pinterest, those holidays are fake. Even your stillness counts as your own celebration if you need that. You don't have to owe anyone their holiday magic. Your peace matters more than any of your performances. Some of the things that I've known that people would do to get themselves through the holidays after they got through, I think the first one that was really rough. I had an acquaintance that because her child was always going to their father's house for Christmas, she and another single mom that were going through the same thing would plan never to be at home for the holidays. And they didn't have parents still living, but they would go ahead and make these trips that were special and affordable to them so that they would not be stuck at home if they were not going to be home with their kids. Another thing I think is important to talk about that we don't really talk about enough, if you are the opposite and you are a parent that wants everybody at your house but you notice that your adult children that have children have ages of all kinds, and you always expect them to come to your house, and that is your expectation. Make sure and ask them if they're okay with that. Are you okay? What would you like? What would you like for me to do for the holiday season? What do you need? Because a lot of times adult children, they don't want to tell their parent necessarily that I don't want to go to your house. I don't want to go to your house because I have to constantly be concerned about what my child is touching, and they would prefer it to be at their house so that way they can enjoy that season as well, because there's toys, the kids know their boundaries at the house, and that allows them to enjoy the season with their family as well. Maybe it's time in midlife for us to let that go and let them take control of the holiday season and going to their house. And this year I plan to cook some things for Thanksgiving and the other holiday season, and I'll bring it over because I feel like now it's about my son's own situation. It's his time. This is his family. And I feel like it's important to respect that as well. And you know what? None of us want to be that mother-in-law in midlife. Many of us understand it's a mixed bag and there's no one size fits all. But just remember that you're not alone. I know I'm not alone. And I would love to hear in the comment section, share one thing that you personally are grieving over, letting go, or starting new this holiday season. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. And I hope each of you have a very wonderful holiday season filled with joy and laughter and beautiful new memories, no matter what your journey has been looking like this past year. Have a great day.
These chocolate croissants every year, they're pretty awesome, so probably something I'm gonna miss a lot.
Why not? New car from Santa.
A brand new car, maybe?
A new car.
Norfolk. Bring me Norfolk. That's what I'd like for Christmas this year.
And as we remember the birth of Jesus, may we also remember what his arrival means for us now. Light breaking through darkness, peace meeting us right where we are, and love choosing to dwell among us. No matter how the season looks, may you find hope in quiet places, comfort in small moments, and joy in knowing you are deeply loved. Merry Christmas from all of us at Midlife, Menopause, and Empowered Reinvention.